Okay, so our project is Elearning, which is kind of like online school, which is school on the internet. And we have a quick video to start off the presentation.
So everyone knows that knowledge is power, and that's why people that sit on the top of very tall buildings looking at nice views have a lot of it. But not everyone is exposed to that, and not everyone can have access to a library. In sub-Saharan Africa, many children walk miles to school bringing their own chairs with them, and often books are not even delivered. Information is outdated and poorly presented. These learning hurdles occur from primary education through universities and corporations. People receive information differently today, and the training needs to adapt. Education is globally in a, bit of a mess lately, and I can't help imagining that there was this thing that could change it all. A Luke Skywalker or Harry Potter for education. Something that combined technology and the internet to create content that is unambiguous and easily translatable. Something that could save time and money by up to 70% against instructor-led training. Something that improved knowledge retention by up to 60%. Something easily available, not bound by geography or city limits. Something even a silly cell phone could receive. Something overcoming language, literacy, and numeracy. Something changing the way we learn, teach, develop, manage. Something that can be used anytime, anywhere, and by anyone. It turns out there is. It's called Elearning, and these guys calling themselves the Training Room Online have been doing it for years. They have clients all around the worldy world and are reaching learners of all ages and education levels in the most remote places.
Okay, so I'm just going to give you an overview of e-learning and a couple of terms. So, e-learning started, the idea first came about in 1953 when B.F. Skinner invented a machine, Strand 3 IT systems, which helps students to learn at their own pace. E-learning 2.0 is kind of like websites 2.0, where people can work online together, so it's where students collaborate online and work together. Simulations are often used during e-learning to replace field trips if they're too expensive, and they use to challenge the students to learn through exploration, experimentation, and interaction. Clearly this relates with Strand 2 education and training because it's learning and training people and educating them in a different way. Distance education is when students work together from around the world. They can be from different places. They don't need to be from a certain region or be a certain age or something. And e-coaching is when you use a coach for your online learning. They use video calls and forums and stuff. So this creates jobs. So Strand 2, business and employment. Blending is when classes use some IT systems, but then they also use normal teaching methods. Synchronous e-learning is in a predetermined location and is led by an instructor, as asynchronous e-learning is taught by the student or students, whereas different. And 32% of students in the US take at least one online course.
So here are a few advantages of doing online school. The class time can be very convenient as you can choose whenever you want to take your class. You can take any time of the day. You don't have to show up anywhere, so you can just do it at home. And it can be done anywhere where there's access to a computer or to the internet, which relates to Strand 3, which is IT systems and global and cultural diversity. You have the luxury of choosing your courses and the difficulty of them. Students of e-learning can work at their own pace. As long as you're on task and are ready for the exam, which is at a certain time. You can also have the availability of using a teacher through chat sites and through video calls, as Kylie said. It is also better at accommodating different learning styles, as there's multiple different sources and classes online. There's no teacher teaching you, depending on the situation, I guess, but You can pick your own method of learning, unlike a teacher teaching a class, which is only one way. It helps develop computer skills and internet skills. It teaches students to take responsibility and gain confidence. And there's a sense of privacy with e-learning because there's no other students in your class and nobody will be seeing your test marks other than you and the people that you'll share them with.
So the negative of e-learning, as the invention of mankind has always been, e-learning also has this negative side. So this side actually made from two aspects. By one hand, it's actually the problem from e-learning itself. For this, the first is money, and for money first one is the feasibility is a problem to many schools, as they are not able to afford the hardware and software required to education their students using e-learning. Another one is that not all students can have the equal access to technology, meaning due to the economic reasons. A simple example is that in China, there only have 56% people are using internet since in 2014. So how could another 44% people use e-learning? And from the problem for e-learning itself, another one is the internet. We know that the knowledge from e-learning is based on the internet, but the problem is that not everything can be learned over the internet. Because there have too much information on the internet, and some that we may not need it, and some is too deep for us. And by another hand, from e-learning is the effect to the education and training. For this, first one is the style of classroom changes. The teachers is no longer the secures for e-learning information, and teacher change to be supervised and mentors to be students. However, teachers are often lack of that training. And another one is that learners with low motivation and bad student habits may not fall behind. If you have any problems with that, you can look at me. So the last one is the dropout rate from distance school is higher than regular schools. I believe that everybody came to this school is not only because of study. We have our own communication on here and our own friend, but as a distance school, the student doesn't have real communication. They only can talk on internet, and the cyberbullying is another question for this. So that's why the dropout rate is so high. And that's it. Thank you.
So as you can see, there's many positive and negatives of e-learning. So the question is whether e-learning is beneficial or not, and that doesn't have a solid answer. It's open for, it depends on the student and their situation and the level of learning that they want to pursue. So, yes. Thank you.